Hey everyone, Complex back with another video, and today we are talking about Castle Kelrik, which is the newest event that has opened up for Anthem's Cataclysm. This event, I'm just going to be honest with y'all, it's a mood. It's got a lot of moving parts to it, and if you are playing with randos, it might make this a little difficult. So I'm going to talk with you about how to do it first, and then we'll talk about some other strats and stuff like that. And then at the end, I'll also mention how to kill the summon and then kill the Valkyrie for Castle Kelrik. So to start, when you first hop into this zone, you'll notice that there are 2 relics open that you can just take, and then there are also going to be 2 relics that are behind like a force field. So what you're going to do is you're going to need to take those 2 relics that are open and then pop them in relic stands that match the symbol above that doorway. So you'll notice that the symbols are, like I said, there, and then once you pop the relic in the correct relic stand that matches the symbol, it'll turn green, and then the second one will turn green, and then the force field will open, and it will stay open forever at that point. So you don't actually have to replace in the relics if like somebody pulls it, you know, right after or anything like that. You can just pick up the 3rd relic whenever you'd like, and then you need to rinse and repeat for the 4th one. Now, where this is going to get tricky is sometimes if you're playing with randos, somebody's going to start on one door and somebody else is going to start on another door, and that's going to make things a little confusing. So my personal bit of advice is that if you see somebody working on one thing, just help them out and kind of work along with them instead of fighting them and doing the door that you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to take a few minutes, and the whole point of the Cataclysm is to do these events as quickly as possible to get the multipliers up. So then that way you can get a higher score when you go kill mobs and do secrets. So not fighting with your teammates is going to be the key to success on this one. Now, after you have the doors open and you have access to all 4 of the relics, you will notice that there is a kind of small tower, and you'll see the symbols on them with the red arrows pointing up, and the crystal is above that, sitting in that tower. What you want to do is pop the relics in the spots that match the symbol. So it's basically a rinse and repeat of opening the doors, except you want to match the symbols on the tower. Now, this is where it's going to start getting tricky, just because it's going to be really easy for somebody to think that you don't have it in the right spot, or you might think that somebody else doesn't have it in the right spot, and somebody might pick up something. So make sure you're being really cognitive when you're doing this of where each of the triangles, like if they're lit up or if they're not lit up, and what those symbols are, so that way you're not accidentally pulling the wrong relic from a pedestal. Now, here's something that I do want to mention. If this event is a little too overwhelming to do with randos, and you have somebody on your team that looks like they really know what they're doing, it's probably going to be way easier for you to just kill mobs. It's not a bad thing. It's actually going to help whoever's doing the puzzle, so they're not constantly being attacked. So if you're having trouble, don't feel like you have to keep helping and putting relics on pedestals or anything like that. Just kill mobs. Give your teammates that are kind of working through this puzzle a leg up, and I feel like that's honestly gonna be the key to success a lot of times. Like, for myself personally, I'm probably gonna be more of a mob killing person as opposed to a puzzle doing person, unless my team looks like they're really struggling with it, just because the support is gonna, like I said, be invaluable, plus it ups your score. Now, if you're wondering where you should do this in the order of events, I personally am doing Ring of Magnus, Brittaheim, Cass's Forge, then I'm coming here to Castle Kelrik to get the multiplier up for when we go to the Dominion Foothold. And there is actually a fast travel point here to get to the Dominion Foothold really quickly, which is nice. So it's easy to get here out of Cass's Forge, and then it is really quick to get back to the Dominion Foothold. So make sure you consult that map where the fast travel point is. I know there was a map floating around on Reddit, but if you're kind of confused as to where the spot is, the best way to do it is to go to the Dominion Foothold, use that fast travel point right by the spheres, and then travel back to Castle Kelrik, just so you kind of have an idea of how it all works. So that is it for the event. That is how you complete it once you shoot the crystal. And now let me show you how to summon the Valkyrie. So before we summon the Valkyrie, let me just show you how this fast travel point works. I am outside the Dominion foothold where Diana's landing is, taking this fast travel point. And when you come out, if you took a left, you would end up in the pit near Cass's Forge. And then if you take a right, you are literally right at Castle Kelrik. So super easy, a nice little waypoint. And then let's go to the tower where the crystal was sitting. Once you land on top of it, you will notice on this back, quote unquote, southern side wall, the 3 plaques on the wall, and you basically just need to pick up relics and match them to the symbols. So it's pretty much what you've been doing this whole time. It's just these are more obscure and harder to find. Really good thing to note, you can summon this Valkyrie at any time. You can do it during the event if you have a coordinated team, or if you don't have a coordinated team and you're playing with randos, doesn't look like anybody else knows how to summon the Valkyrie, you can just come back at any time and do this, at least currently how it stands in the Cataclysm. And so no problems there if you're having any trouble kind of getting everybody to coordinate on that. Because I know the summoning of this Valkyrie isn't difficult. It more, if you're playing with randos, sometimes this might feel like they could feel like you're trolling them by moving it into spots where it shouldn't be, if that makes sense. So sometimes it is just easier to come back. A thing to note, if you do come back and you can't find the relics themselves, or you find them but you can't move them off the pedestal rather, don't worry, go back to where you originally picked them up from in the side alcoves, and they should have respawned there and are able to be picked up and moved. I do want to note while I'm placing relics down is that I've noticed so far, I don't know the experience you guys have had, but every time I load into a brand new Cataclysm, the plaques change as to what symbols I need. So I've had it be different on the side walls as well as the top to summon the Valkyrie. So that's one thing to note. It's not necessarily going to be about memorization, like, all right, I know this one's always the triangle or anything like that. You're gonna have to pay attention every time. So once you start learning how to do this, it should go by quicker, especially as other people are also learning. It'll help it go by all the more faster and efficiently. But y'all, I hope this has helped. I know this event in particular is going to be a bit of a mood, but I promise the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. But listen, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments down below or find me on Twitch. I am always happy to help whenever I can. But seriously, thank you for joining me. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye guys.